everyone. My name is Jeannie Allen. I'm chair of the nominating committee here at Lake of the Woods. We are continuing our interviews with candidates for the board of directors, whose election will take place at our annual meeting in September. Today I'd like to introduce Darcy Jennings, who is a candidate for the board this year. Darcy, our first question is, what motivated you to run for the board?
Thanks, Jeannie. I was motivated simply because I don't think I'm done with what I want to do. I was given a one-year term, which has been great, and I've learned a lot. But there are a lot of things I want to do to help the people in the community.
Darcy, this question is going to seem redundant since you've been serving on the board for the last year, but what homework have you done or planning to do to prepare for this role?
Well, I'm still continuing to do what I did last year prior to being on the board, which is going to all the committee meetings that I can. You learn so much, and it's so interesting to hear different members and their input, and I will continue to do that. At times people look and say, why are you here? But it's becoming more common that a lot of the candidates have been doing that as well, which is wonderful. And that's what I'm doing my homework on.
Darcy, what is your understanding of the board's role in governance and how that role interacts with the general manager?
That's a really important question, and I think we've got a really good general manager who is putting us on track with some of the things that we really need to be aware of and also follow through on. We also have a new financial manager, and he's excellent as well. So the combination of that is very important. But the big difference is the reason that the board exists is because we represent all of you, all the neighbors, everyone in the community, and the general manager runs the community. That's two different entities. And if the general manager would like something, it's certainly something she can go to the board and ask. However, if it's not something that the people want, then that's where the board comes in and voices opinion. And the governance, reading all the documents, as I did last summer, there's a lot. There are a lot of rules. We're known for that. But there are also reasons for some of the rules, and if you attend any of the committee meetings, you'll get a better understanding of why we have our governance the way it is.
Darcy, social media has become a powerful force in our society. What is your perspective on these platforms, and how best can the board take advantage of them?
I think it would be important for the board to take a little bit more advantage. However, right now social media seems to be so negative, and that doesn't help anyone in the community. Being more positive, spreading more positive messages, being able to communicate what's going on in a conversational type approach would be really nice to be able to do. But we have to take out the negativity to be able to really use that platform in the best way we can.
Darcy, what are your ideas to increase member participation, especially in voting, like in the referendums?
I think, again, that's a very, very important question. We need to engage people in what we're doing. And we're reaching part of our population, but we're not reaching our whole population. If retirees are only 38% of the community, what are we doing for the rest of the community? I think we need to have more activities so they can be more involved and hear from other neighbors what's going on. So if there is a referendum, it can be explained. You might hear two sides of an issue. However, you're going to be more engaged and have a chance to vote. And since everything's being done online now, it makes it a lot easier, even for me, who has to ask my 4-year-old grandchild to help me with some of the technology. But it's very, very important to be involved, and we need to find ways to get more families and younger members in the community involved.
Darcy, what do you consider the most important issue facing Lake of the Woods right now, and how do you think we could best address it?
There are a number of issues that Lake of the Woods faces every day. Financial, which we've all talked about, and I think mine pretty much is the health of the lakes and our infrastructure and what's happening, because this is a almost 60-year-old community, and we need to take care of the infrastructure that was not built necessarily for the kind of living that we're all doing here now. The health of the lakes is also very important, and we're very lucky to have Keegan and Holly on staff who just really, really know their stuff, have brought in experts, and we need more people like that and more people to be a little more engaged in what's going on with ideas. How can we fix this? How can we make it a better place for all of us?
Darcy, give us your 30-second elevator speech on why we should elect you to the board of directors.
Well, I think I'd start out as sort of a bit of a joke by saying, howdy folks, I think I'm here to listen to you. I would really like people to approach me and give me ideas of what we can do to make things better, and so that those can be passed on. There's many ideas that are floating around, and I think we need to address some of those, but if we don't hear them, we don't know them. One of them is a simple thing, like let's get the golf cart back to the clubhouse so that we can have rides up there. I guess I'm beyond my 30 seconds, but the elevator stopped at a different floor, I guess. Anyway, one other thing too is another talk about is doing a miniature golf course, which would be very, very family friendly. There are a lot of things out there and ideas, and if you give them to me, I would be glad to try to represent them as best I can.